just trying to. There we go. Okay. Here we are. Disappointment. Oh my goodness. The battle of disappointment. The battle of disappointment. This is something that just really just struck a chord with me on yesterday. I was listening to a word and it was about disappointment, like disappointments, right? And so I'm listening to this and it just really just convicted me, because sometimes we have these amazing plans for our lives, right? And it doesn't turn out the way we want them to be. And it results in disappointment. And we can just give up. We don't try again because we have been disappointed, right? I'm not going to try again. It's never going to work. It never works. And we give up. We don't try. So as I'm listening to this word, I thought about all the things that I was disappointed at, right? I was disappointed because a lot of things didn't work out. I literally sat here and wept. I cried because I went back to my 20s and I was like, all these choices I made, they weren't the best choices. And it affected other people, right? And I was just, oh my goodness, I was just so sad. I was just hurt. And then I went through all the emotions, right? And I'm like, you know what? Look where you are now. And then I saw this post about how in your 20s you think you're going to have it all together. Like, don't waste your 20s thinking you're going to have it all together and you know it all, because you don't. Like, you don't. I made the best decision I could at that time with the information that I had, right? So just look at it that way. You make the best decisions you could with the information that you had at the time. So I forgave myself for that, right? And I'm looking at my 20-year-old self and like, man, the stuff I wish I knew then, right? But also, I love and appreciate you for where you are now. So I wrote my 24, 25-year-old self a letter. Like, I know you would be so proud of us. We are helping people. We're coaching women. We're an author. We speak. We're using our voice to change people, to help transform lives. Like, everything that happened to you happened for you, not to you. It happened for you. And a lot of times we think disappointment is like the worst thing ever when it's the best thing for us. It's just redirection. He knows something. He has something better for you. Good morning. He has something better for you. So I look at disappointment in a different light now. I'm going to share my story, and then I'm going to go into the notes I got from this amazing Therapy Thursdays session. So in my 20s, there was a time when I just didn't know. I didn't know. I did the best I could, right? I made terrible choices. I did so many things. And as I look back on my life, it's like, oh my God. Like, I wonder what would have happened if I had not made those choices, right? Shoulda, coulda, woulda. But then I look at myself now. Had I not made those choices, had those people not left my life, had those things not working out, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't be the person who I am today. So I am thankful for the rejection, because the rejection is redirection. And the disappointment is God just redirecting everything. He said he has something better for you, right? He does. And we trust him. I trust him. Because all of that stuff happened for a reason. And when you're in it, it doesn't make any sense. We're just, this, I wanted this by this age. I wanted that by that age. I had all these plans for myself. And they didn't happen. And I was disappointed. Honestly, I was mad with God. Like, how you ain't gonna do nothing I ask? I can't get nothing? Everybody else can get blessed and have all this stuff. What about me? What about me? Right? That's where I was. That's where I was at. I don't know about y'all, but that's where I was at. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like, you know what? I'm just gonna see what happens. I ain't making no plans. I'm just gonna let him just do his thing. I'm gonna be grateful for it. I'm gonna accept it what it is, because we have no choice. We have to accept the things that come our way. And these things come our way. Good morning. These things come our way to teach us something, right? So let me give you a timeline of my week. So I'm on TikTok scrolling through, looking at some videos, and there was a podcast with these young ladies, and they were talking about how relationships show us. We think we're going into the relationship to to help somebody and, maybe fix them or something like that. And that's not what the relationship is. The relationships that we're in are revealing us to us. So we come in with our cup, right? And somebody's pouring into us, and we have holes, right? So they're pouring, and what is happening? They're revealing us to us. The relationships that we're in reveal us to us, and we can look at them and say, you know what, you just this and you just that, and I can't believe you. And we point our finger all day long. Yes, faith is dead without works. Yeah, you got to do the work, right? So I look back on these relationships that I was in, and I was like, well, something wrong with all them people. Something wrong with every last one of them. But it was me. These relationships were revealing parts of myself that I just couldn't see. Because it's hard for us to see our blind spots. I didn't love myself. I didn't want to be alone with myself. But I wanted this from somebody else. Make it make sense. Have you ever been disappointed? We all can say yes. Have you ever been disappointed? Are you disappointed right now? Flip one on. Okay. Have you ever been disappointed? Like, look, I was sitting here like, man, this didn't work out. That didn't work out. Man, look at here. I'm supposed to be, over here. Like, I'm supposed to be a millionaire now. I'm supposed to be a billionaire now. Like, what is going on? But what if he gave me that right now and I'm not ready for it? It would just blow. I would just blow it, right? He'll never put more on you than you can bear, and you are right where you're supposed to be. You're right where you're supposed to be. So just trust your process, right? Trust your process, because as I look back on this 25-year-old young lady who was a single mother of two, and I'm like, oh my God, I picked another one. What is going on with me, right? And I look back at my 46-year-old self. The day I found myself, the day I met me, and I had to go through all that stuff, and still going through stuff, still growing through stuff. I had to go through that stuff. We're going through these things to show us, to teach us. And everybody's road is different. Everybody's journey is different, and it's okay. You are unbecoming. This just came to me this morning, y'all. I had to write it down. I was like, oh, let me write that down. You are unbecoming who you thought you was and becoming who you were meant to be. You are unbecoming who you thought you were, and you are becoming who you were meant to be. And it is scary, because it's like we get so used to, this is the way it used to be. This is the way it always supposed to be. And then when change comes, people don't like change, right? It's like, oh, I don't want to do that. I don't just everything will stay the same. If everything stays the same, then there's no change. There's no growth, right? So I'm going to share these notes that I got from this. And disappointment is when we have to readjust our emotions. When we allow disappointment to have the last say, it causes doubt to have the first word. So when we allow disappointment to have the last say, it causes doubt to have the first word. Oh, it ain't gonna work. It never works. Have you ever said that? Oh, it ain't gonna work. It never works. Just because of something that you were disappointed from in the past, right? Your discernment is sharpened when you don't have to fight disappointment. Your discernment is sharpened when you don't have to fight disappointment. You can be stuck in the event, and when you're stuck in the event, the body remembers. The body never forgets. That's why whenever you're triggered, somebody says something or does something, you just feel something, and you're like, what is this? Because your body never forgets. Never. Acting hard is hard. Okay? Acting hard is hard. Hello, somebody. Sometimes breakthrough looks like tears. That was my breakthrough yesterday. I was like, oh my God, I literally, as I'm listening to this, I went to all the disappointments that I was experiencing, especially in, being a parent, and how I expected these people to be somebody who they could not be. They didn't have the capacity to be that, right? They just couldn't. And I was just so sad. And I was just sitting here bawling. I was mad with them. I was just processing this thing. Like, I gave my son his last name and he don't do nothing for him. I wish I hadn't done that. I'm disappointed in that. I'm disappointed in myself. I'm disappointed in the choices I made. That's real. That's how I felt. And I'm going to stop right now before I go back to those tears. But I literally was just sitting here processing this stuff. And then I look back now like, you made it through. Your kids are amazing. They are fine. We can't make somebody be ready for something they're not ready for. You can't make somebody be something they never seen. Right? I can't keep beating people up for something they didn't do when they don't have the capacity to do it. Because sometimes certain areas I lack capacity too. Okay, let me go on. What do you do when the battle picks you? The battle of disappointment. Is it really delayed, or is it delayed because we gave it a deadline? That was the kicker for me. Yeah, it hurts. You know what? It's honest. I hurt for the choices I made. And then I bring little people into the choices that I made. That's why when you lay down with somebody, you got to be careful. Because there could be somebody you stuck with for 18 years. And I didn't even know this person well enough. Can I be real? I didn't know him well enough. And I'm having a baby by this person. Then I got to know him. Then I was like, no, I don't want this. And then I said, you know what? I don't want to be in a relationship with you. I want us to co-parent, but I don't want to be in a relationship with you. And you know what he told me? If I can't be in your life, I don't want to be in his. That hurt. That was hard. And I always kept the door open. I always allowed that access. But you can't make somebody be there. What they want, but they don't want to. You can't make somebody be or do something they don't want to do. And that's real. And yeah. Anyway, like I said, he tried. I tried, and it just got to the point where he's like, I don't care no more. When the child just doesn't want to try, doesn't want to go, doesn't want to be involved, what do? You do what's best for your child. And if it's, you know what, you don't gotta go. If I'm taking you there and he's dropping you off at somebody else's house, what's the point of that? You can stay here. So yeah. That came out of nowhere. Let me get it back together. Okay, so is it really, let me go back to this. Is it really delayed, or is it delayed because we gave it the deadline? A lot of times we have these deadlines that we set. Like we set these deadlines. I'm supposed to be married by 40. I'm supposed to have this house by 45. I'm supposed to have this man that's 6 feet tall that makes 6 figures. I'm supposed to have this amazing job. I'm supposed to have, we set all this stuff. And we get disappointed when it doesn't happen. And maybe it's not supposed to happen for a reason. And we have to trust his process, not our process. We had to work hard. Yeah, listen here. It was hard, but I'm telling you, you can do it, because I did it. 2, not 1, 2 kids. My daughter's father, he helped. But my son's father, man. And I was sitting here beating myself up for that. I was like, boy, did you pick that one? But I picked somebody that wasn't available. I wasn't available. I picked somebody that didn't love themselves. I didn't love myself. So as I look back on the choices I made, I picked people from a deficit of what I was missing and hoping they could give me that, but they can't give you what they don't have, right? They just can't. They don't have the capacity to. So, what else? And the body keeps score, as you see, as I'm talking about that time when he said those words to me. I literally went back to that place where I felt really sad and really hurt because of the words that he said. And this person, maybe his dad wasn't in his life, right? So he don't know how to do that. He just speaking from his own hurt and pain. I'm sorry, it's going so fast. I'm trying to read y'all comments. What else? The change of plans. Okay, so the change of plans is not disappointment. It's God reordering your steps. So the change of plans is not disappointment. It's God reordering your steps. So let's look at it differently. We can look at it differently, y'all. We can. And it's gonna save you, it's gonna free you from this. Oh my God, it ain't working out. It's never gonna happen. I'm done. It's over. No. Let's look at it in a different light, right? Disappointment is God ordering your steps and your stops. Okay, I thought that was real good. Disappointment is God ordering your steps and your stops. He stopped that. He stopped that relationship. He stopped that friendship. He stopped that marriage. He stopped those things that were going to stop you, that were going to take you out. I thought disappointment took me out. No, God took me out. And he turned me around. And he placed my feet on solid ground. He introduced me to me. I am glad for everything, every disappointment, every no, every rejection. Everybody that came into my life, everybody that left out of my life. Because I would not be the person I am today had those things not happened. So it's not disappointment to me. It's redirection. He got something better for me. He got something better for you. If it didn't work out, it's because he got something better for you. Trust him. Trust him, because yes, sis, life happens for you, not to you. And I was sitting here, listen, when I was going through what I thought was the worst breakup of my life, I was like, why is this happening to me? Why is this happening to me? And I clearly hear him say, why not you? Why not you? He took me out of all those relationships I thought I had to be in. Okay? He was plucking them people out of my life. Bloop, 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 bloop. He was plucking them out. He set me aside so I could do my work. He can do his work. Because I can't give what I don't have. Okay? So I had to love on myself. I had to respect myself. I had to trust myself. So now I'm able to serve from that place. I'm not going to relationships seeking somebody to complete me because I'm already complete. I'm not looking for somebody to fulfill me because I'm already fulfilled. I'm not looking for somebody to love me because I already love myself. So whether a relationship works or doesn't work, guess what? God got me and I got me. And when I got to that place, honey, when people, because I would be in relationships, and if they looked like they was about to leave, oh, go ahead. I was on to the next. I kept a spare tire. Can I be real? Kept a spare tire. Because I learned from my father not being in my life, rejection, right? Abandonment. So I would abandon these relationships, get out of these relationships before they left me. Because I didn't want to be the one that kept getting left. I felt like I was left since I was a little girl. Okay? So I went into these relationships, and this is what I was doing. This was the cycle that I was in. And she kept sending the same person with a different name. He kept sending the same person with a different name. It ain't them, honey, it's you. I was choosing these people, right? So I had to heal these. He shows you you. He shows you you. You gotta pay attention. It ain't everybody. Oh, they this, oh, they that. Why are you choosing them? Why are you laying down with them? Why? Just why? What part of you wants that? A part of you needs healing. That's why you can keep attracting that, right? That's my story. Might not be everybody else's story, but it's mine. And I had to heal a lot. I had to heal a lot. I didn't want to be alone with me. And I expected somebody to be alone with me. And I couldn't be alone with me. That was scary. I had to love on me. I had to respect myself. I had to do the work. I had to do the personal development work. I had to work on me outside of a relationship, not inside of it, outside of it. I had to do that work. And when you do that work, honey, you will be like, oh, no, you got to go. You got to go. Oh, no, it's a no for me. It's going to be so easy. It's going to be so easy to discern who's for you, who's not for you. Yeah, look, listen, I understand. Being single as long as you want to, right? And when you're ready, or maybe you're not ready. Maybe you want to be in a relationship, maybe you don't. And it's okay. Yeah, you got to learn to love yourself. You got to love yourself. You don't love yourself, but you want somebody to love you. Make it make sense. The math ain't mathing. You don't love yourself, but you want somebody else to love you. It's just, no, it's not going to work like that. It's not going to work. You're going to attract people that don't love you either. That's what's going to happen. I'm telling you, been there, done that. And I'm like, what? I thought I was loving myself. I love people more than they love me. Okay? So when they walked away, guess what? I walked away too. Because I poured everything I could into them. Being with who they wanted me to be. Doing what they wanted me to do. Right? And when they left, I left. I'm looking like a fool. Oh my God. Here we go again. What I'm going to do now? Find another one. That was the cycle. Until it wasn't. Right? Until it wasn't. And I got sick and tired of me. So when you get sick and tired of you, you're like, you know what? I need to work on me. Let me talk to a therapist, a counselor, a coach, somebody. Let me talk to somebody that can help me. Because I'm sick and tired of making the same choices. I'm a wife. I deserve to be a wife. Okay? So it's time that I started working on me and acting accordingly. Okay? And my life changed. My life changed. Like, it literally changed. I had to work on me, though. I had to work on me. You got to do your work. You got to do your work. A different perspective removes a different perspective removes the debris of disappointment. So when you look at things differently, it changes everything. Let's look at disappointment differently. It's just God reordering your steps. Disappointment is God ordering your steps and stopping things. He's ordering things and he's stopping things. He's ordering things and he's stopping things. Where did I find actually he was always there. I just wasn't ready. we both wasn't ready. And then we ran into each other after all of that stuff I was going through and the healing stuff, and I got on my healing journey. We ran into each other again. I'm like, because I was running from him. I was like, I ain't ready for you, and you ain't ready for me, so go ahead on with that. And then I ran into him again. I'm like, okay, so, I'm in a better place now, and nobody's perfect. We're both still work in progress, but we have one thing in common. We love each other, and we let each other be who we are. We accept each other as we are. We're not trying to change. I'm not trying to change him. He's not trying to change me. I have to constantly reintroduce myself to him because I'm growing and I'm learning and I'm evolving, and it's all just working out. And so there is a light on the other end of that tunnel, of that dark place. But you got to be willing to go through and do your work. You got to be willing to do your work. Okay? There you go. So here are three steps to handling disappointment. Okay? These are 3 steps on the way of looking at disappointment. I'm trying to say how to say this. Anyway, 3 tips, 3 whatever. Here we go. Disappointment is not for discouragement, but direction. So disappointment is not for discouragement, but for direction. Disappointment is a compass, not a verdict. It's a compass, rerouting. So when you have disappointment, just think about a map, and it's like, you know what? I was headed this way, but now I got to go this way. And that's okay, because you know who's ahead, okay? He's ahead. He already knows what's there. That's why he's redirecting you. Don't go down there. That's a dead end. I don't want you to go that way. So guess what? I'm going to turn it around. It's redirection, okay? Disappointment is disappointment is a compass, not a verdict. So the last one, God has a place for me. This must not be for me. So whenever disappointment comes, and it will come, okay? Just say these words right here. God has a place for me, and this must not be for me. God has a person for me. This person may not be for me. Okay? Because the people who I thought I was supposed to be with, honey, God was like, girl, bye. No. No. And I'm so glad, because had I had the last or 2 relationships work out, I would not be here. I would not be talking like this. I would not be this person. I would not have done the work I've done and am doing. I wouldn't have done this stuff. I didn't know who I was. And then I was trying to be in relationships with other people who didn't know who they were. I didn't know who I was for decades. I just did not know. And I had people in my life that were asking me questions. I was just like, why are they asking me this? This person asked me, who are you? I was like, Jennifer? No, who are you? Right? So that made me like, I don't even know. I'm going to find out who I am. I'm going to figure that out. Right? And now I can tell you who I am. I'm a woman of God. I'm an author. I'm a student. I'm a coach. I'm work in progress. I'm a influencer. I'm a transformational speaker. I couldn't tell you that. When that person asked me that, I couldn't tell that person nothing because I didn't know. Nobody ever asked me that. You see, I made it my life's mission to be in relationships. I'm supposed to be married in my 20s, in my 30s. I was supposed to be married. My whole entire life was trying to be somebody's wife, trying to be in a relationship. Like I would be like checked out in the home with my children, just checked out, trying to follow behind these jokers. Okay? That wasn't his plan. That's why it never worked. It's not working for a reason. And we can look at it as disappointment, or we can look at it as he got something better for me. Because he does. He has something better for me. And sometimes you got to do Not sometimes. You got to do your work. You got to do your work. And because you think you're ready, he might have a different opinion. When you're ready, I'm telling you, when you're ready, you'll know it. You'll know it. Do your work. You got to do your work. Love on yourself. Take care of yourself. And let's look at disappointment as redirection. You know what? You're headed down this path and it's not the right path. I'm going to redirect you. You know what? This relationship is not the relationship for you. This person, I'm going to remove them. Don't chase behind them. Don't run after them. Don't cry. Look, you can cry, grieve the relationship, grieve what you thought you had, grieve that disappointment, and go on. It's redirection. I'm telling you, it's redirection. When I was sitting here listening to this word yesterday, I started crying because I was so mad because I felt like my life did not go according to my plan. Not his plan, y'all. I was mad because my life wasn't going according to my plan. And it's not he has better plans for us. Our plans, girl, bye. He has better plans for us. We have to trust him. I'm telling you, he will redirect you. He redirected me. This person, I looked like I had it all together. Did not. Didn't even know who I was. He redirected me. He will. This is my little snippet of my life just transformed. But everything happened for a reason. It's not disappointment. Guess what? It's not supposed to happen. It's not supposed to work out. Okay. Disappointment. No. Thank you, God. Thank you for showing me that was not the person for me. Thank you for redirecting me. Thank you for teaching me. Thank you for showing me, right? That's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. A change of plans is not disappointment. It's God reordering your steps. So we can look at disappointment differently now. Disappointment, a change of plans is not disappointment. It's God reordering your steps. And if you look at it that way, are you really disappointed? Are you? Some relationships work, some don't. But they're all here. All relationships teach you something. So embrace those lessons. Sometimes you can't see it when you're right in it. You can't. You just can't see. It's hard to see the picture when you're in the frame. As I look back, I realized what certain people was sent in my life to show me. Honey, when you're fresh out of a relationship, take time for yourself. Because I didn't do that. I kept rushing to relationship. I went and got matching tattoos with somebody. Y'all see that right there? I went and got matching tattoos with somebody. I ain't with that person. Talking about love. Child, that wasn't no love right there. I made terrible choices. I did. I forgive myself. Number one, I forgive me. Okay? New information requires a new decision. You're like, child, this is real. I'm talking about when it got tattooed like forgive myself. I ain't gonna call myself no fool. I was just lost. I was lost. Did that. And I need to get this thing. I need to get something. I need to get something done I need to get it removed or something. Because this ain't where it's at. This ain't where it's at. And it's definitely not who I was. I'm like, I look back on my life, child, what was you thinking? What was going on with you? What the world? Yep, did that. I did it. Got the tattoo. Negative. Anyway, look at here. That's my truth. That's my truth. I'm going to end my podcast.